Coming up next, I'm going to tell you how to get a job with zero connections, and then why people aren't looking hard for open jobs. We'll break that down, and of course, we take your calls, and it starts right now. All right, folks, welcome to the Ken Coleman Show. I'm coming to you live from our Ramsey Solutions studios in Nashville. Full confession, after the opening tease, I went to take a drink from this lovely Ken Coleman Show tumbler, and the lid wasn't all the way on, and down the old front of the shirt it went, so, and it's very chilly in here, by the way. Yeah, I am wide awake, so this should be a fun show. Here's what we focus on. We're helping you figure out what you were born to do. There's two areas of purpose in your life, relational and professional. This idea that work is something that you were created to do because of the contribution that your work makes. It's why everybody lays in bed at some point in their life, or maybe they get alone and they say, why am I here? What should I do with my life? Where does that question come from? Nobody teaches you to ask that. It comes from your spirit because you were created to contribute. And so I want you, no matter where you are in your journey, to begin to see work as purposeful. You were created to fill a unique role in and through your work. That means you are needed, and it means you must do it. You know that. And I think I just reminded some folks. So welcome aboard. That's what we talk about. It's a caller-driven show. You can call in. If you're going through something really nasty and you're going, Ken, I'd like to call, but I don't want anybody to hear my story, we can change your name, change your location. If you're just nervous that anybody would hear it, change your name, change your location. Let me remind you of that, okay, so that you can get help. Because we're going one-on-one, folks. Let me be your counselor, coach, and cheerleader all in one phone call. 844-747-2577. 844-747-2577. Okay, let's get really, really practical with one of the biggest intimidation factors of going after a job. Whether you are looking for the first job, trying to re-enter from unemployment, or you're switching careers, I don't have connections, Ken. I don't have any connections. You're always talking about connections, kids. I don't have any connections. I'm moving across country. I want to leave this company and go to this company, XYZ, but I don't know anybody over there. I don't have any connections. Well, number one, let's just blow that myth up. Yes, you do. You just don't see them. And that is, in fact, true. When you say you don't have any connections, you are telling me the truth because you don't see them. Well, we got to figure out how to find them. Then we go, oh, I have connections. So I want to walk through breaking down how to use your web of connections. I wrote a chapter about this in my number one best-selling book, The Proximity Principle. So I want to walk through this. There's three things that you can do to begin to use your already existing web of connections. This is not about developing your web of connections. It's already there. You just got to uncover it, see it, if you will, and then use it. Here we go. Number one, you start with informing your inner circle. If you can, for just a bit, would you use your imagination and just picture a spider web? All right? And just picture spider web. And if you've ever walked into one or seen one glistening in the morning dew, it's a beautiful, beautiful creation. And by the way, incredibly strong. And so you look at it, and there is this center, and then the web begins to fan out, if you will. So your inner circle, it's right there in the middle. These are obviously people that are in your family or friend group, and these are very, very close relationships. So you start by informing your inner circle just by saying, hey, I know we have a lot of the same connections, because you will, but I need your help. Here's where I want to go. Here's why I want to go there. And I need you to look through your web, your Rolodex. Who do you know? What are some places? Who are people that I need to get in touch with? What are some places where I can meet the right people and you've got an in at this place? People and places. That's where opportunities show up. And you start with the inner circle because they know people. They are aware of places. And they can get you around those people, to those people, so that you can connect. And they can get you in those places where you are meeting people, you're observing, and opportunities are going to present themselves. So you start by just informing your inner circle. Some people don't even do this. They may make a mention of it in a conversation. I'm talking like, hey, I'm on purpose. I'm serious. I want to get here. Here's why I want to get there. I'm looking for any connection that you can make. Next, create a connection to-do list. Your inner circle is going to give you some connections. They're going to present connections. Yeah, I can introduce you over here, or you need to go over here. And so now you got some new information. Okay? Then you sit down with your current web and you go, who do I know that would be on the next level, which would be acquaintances. So my inner circle gives me their information. Then I look at my life and I go, I've already talked to my inner circle. Now let's look at my acquaintances. So these are people that if I see, they recognize me, they know me, they'll stop and talk. Excuse me. Joe, I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to warn you right now. I got something in my chest that's tickling me. So it is what it is. I always feel this need to apologize to Joe because he's this audio purist and he has to deal with all this stuff. I couldn't get to the cough button.
It happens.
Little behind the scenes. If I press this button, you don't hear it. Did you like the fake cough, Joe?
It's magic.
Yeah, it's fabulous. But I didn't get to the mute button fast enough. Okay. Squirrel. It's real, folks. You're looking at your acquaintances and you're looking out and you're going, okay, I actually know this amount of people. I know these people. So I'm now creating a connection to-do list. I've got what my inner circle has shared with me. I've got my relationships that I know, whether they're acquaintances in real life or they're on social media or whatever. And so now I'm going to create a connection to-do list. And here's what this simply means. I'm going to create buckets. I'm using a bucket as an analogy so you can see, okay, I want to create different buckets or categories. Okay, so these people I know through social. These people I know because of my kids' sporting events. These people I know because I used to work with them. These people I know because I went to college with them. You create these buckets so that it's not so intimidating and you're not just looking at this big old sheet of paper or this Excel spreadsheet and you're like, because folks, you got to do this. The reason you're not connecting well is because you don't even know who you're supposed to be connecting with. So we start putting people in these buckets. We got a list. So what do we do next? Start to reach out. You put people that you know in these buckets, and then you start to prioritize. You go, okay, boom, I'm going after it. And I begin to strategically connect with all these people and say, hey, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to go. I'm looking for help, looking for opportunities. And people will help. Some people won't, but a lot of people will. But you got to put the ask out. Third, once you begin to receive connections back from your web, now we got to reach out to actually make the connection. We're looking for information in those first two steps. Now we're looking to actually connect. And can I just tell you, I would prefer you do face-to-face, even if that's a Zoom, as opposed to email and text and phone calls. All of those other three avenues you can connect. It's almost like you make the technical connect, but there's no spiritual connect. Face-to-face, eyeball to eyeball. That is how you truly connect. And they can see your humility. They can see that you're taking notes and that you have a desire to learn from them and a desire to get somewhere. And they see themselves as tremendously valuable. And they want to help. If you don't believe that people don't feel valuable when you ask for their help, start paying attention the next time you go to somebody and go, hey, can I bug you for 3 minutes? I want to get your advice on something. Watch them go. Yes. As a matter of fact, I will give you advice. It's just how we are as humans. Everybody's got an opinion. And when somebody values our opinion, we feel valuable. So get over yourself and ask the most underrated question in the world. Will you help me? And do it with humility and do it with gratitude. And people will connect you. Connections will begin to happen. And you'll get so good at this, it becomes a part of your daily habit. I wrote an entire book on this, by the way, if you're new to the show. The Proximity Principles for people who know where they want to go, but they don't know how to get there. If you don't know where you want to go, you can call the show, and we're working on a tool for that, and we got a book coming out on that as well very soon, okay? So stop overthinking and telling yourself, I don't know enough people. You can make a transition to a completely different field, move across country, and still have connections to get you the job. That's how you do it. But it takes diligence. It's not going to magically happen. Diligence, staying with it, and the connections will reveal themselves. 844-747-2577 is the number to jump in on the phone. 844-747-2577. Let's go to Dallas, Texas to start it off today. Chris is there. Chris, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken. Thanks for taking a moment to speak with me.
You bet. What's up?
So I guess at work we've had a considerable amount of turnover recently, and my responsibilities have increased quite a bit. And I'm just wondering what's a good way to approach my boss for promotion, raise, that kind of thing.
Yeah. When was the last time you had a conversation with your boss about growth, more responsibility, more pay? Give me some context.
I would say when the turnover really started, because it all happened pretty fast. We lost more than half the team. I pretty much immediately went to him and said, hey, wherever I can help, I'll help. And he jumped on it and really just started loading me up with quite a bit more tasks.
How long ago was that?
About 2-3 months ago.
Okay. Did you get a raise as well financially?
No, I did not.
Okay, so you've really not had it. All you said was, I know that there's a hole in the dike. I'm willing to stick my finger in it and help.
That's correct, yeah.
So you didn't have a conversation about compensation?
Not at the time, no.
Okay, great. All right, and I'm not getting on you about that. I just needed to know what our last conversation was. So this is my standard advice on this, and this is always going to clarify what you need to be clarified. So you want to sit down and go, hey, 2-3 months ago, man, we jumped in and I think you're pleased. I just want to get an update. I want to connect with you and talk about a growth plan. That's how you introduce the conversation. There's nothing in there about a raise. Now, anybody with half a brain is going to go, oh, probably going to have to talk compensation in this. But by saying, hey, I want to get with you and make sure that we're on the same page and on how I'm doing, what I can do more of. I want to talk about a growth plan. And so when you get into the meeting, you don't talk about a raise. You talk about, hey, here's the deal. Obviously, I stepped in, added more work, and I just wanted to touch base with you. And number one, here's what I want to know. And if you got something to write with, Chris, you can write this down. But number one, hey, I just want to get a quick assessment on where I stand. I know I asked for more duties. You gave me more duties. I want to see where I stand with you. How's that going? Am I doing a good job? I want constructive criticism here. See, that's humility. You didn't ask for a raise. You said, hey, I just want to get a real assessment on how I'm doing. Number two, I would love, and I'm not expecting you to tell me this in this meeting, but I would love to have you think through, are there some additional skills or training to add new skills that you think I could and should develop? Again, this is all about you performing well for him. There's nothing in here about a raise in those first two questions. This is a person who's going, hey, I want to be better. I want to do better. Give me your feedback, your insight, your suggestions. That's really good. And the third thing is you go, hey, and once we come up with some of those things, I would love to talk about how that plays into me getting more responsibility and influence here in my work and how we measure that so that I can not just grow professionally, but grow financially. See how we just dropped in financial there at the very end?
Yeah, I see that.
It's not smoke and mirrors. We're not talking like a politician, but what we're doing is we're putting the horse in front of the cart instead of the cart in front of the horse. And so he or she doesn't feel like they're on the defensive as to why they haven't given you a raise so far. There's humility there and there's hunger. Humble, I need feedback. I want feedback. I want your input. Hunger, I want to get better. But as a result of getting better, I want to do better and get paid more. That's normal. I just think that's the right approach. Now, here's why I tell you to lay it out that way. And I'm teaching you folks as well as I'm teaching Chris right now. Now, Chris, here's what happens. When you lay it out that way, you're looking for one response. Absolutely will do that. I love your spirit. You stepped up. You raised your hand. You've been huge. I noticed it. We're going to take care of you. I love this. This is really good. Let me get my act together. We'll have a meeting in blank, blank, blank weeks or days or whatever. And we come back to the meeting, and he actually has a plan. He's got a list of things that are constructive. Hey, we'll pay for this training. And I want you to move into this, and we're going to give you a promotion, and this is what the pay is going to look like. It's going to be based on your performance. That's what we want, some type of response like that. Anything short of that response is a red flag for you. And the reason it's a red flag is because we have a leader who is either clueless or intentionally awful. Just doesn't value people. Clueless, a lot of clueless leaders out there. Don't even know what to do with that kind of conversation. Or there are leaders who just go, yeah, no, I'm not going to do much with this. I'm just going to placate them. It's one or the other. And one is unintentional, the other is intentional. And so then now you've got your red flag. Clueless, doesn't matter. Intentional, doesn't matter. We're looking somewhere else. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. I think it does.
But it should give you confidence that you're not leaving prematurely, that you're not being sensitive, that you're actually, you did what you could do, and now you've gotten a real clear message from your leadership. Any questions on that?
No, I think that pretty much sums it up. And I think I have a good plan going forward.
Yeah, it'll work. It will work because it will give you a clear result, one or the other. And if it works in the sense of they step up, great, you just led your leader. By the way, that process right there is a way of leading your leader. They don't even know you led them there, but you kind of made it their decision, was your idea, but you made it their decision. That's wonderful. I'm trying to figure out how to do that with teenagers right now. You know? I mean, I can force my kids to do something, but I would like my kids to feel like it was their decision. Gosh, it's hard. Because we parents don't know what we're doing, and we got emotions and all the things. And gosh, it's hard because we leaders got all the emotions and things. So I don't want to beat up on leaders. But sometimes leaders aren't in a place, they don't have the capacity to figure it out. There's just such a lack of really good leadership in companies. And so some leaders are clueless, and some they're just so unhealthy, they're just intentionally jerks. They can't even see you. They're seeing their own issues. So leading your leader is a great, great way to get where you want to go. All right, let's go next to Peter in Knoxville, Tennessee. Peter, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken, how's it going today?
Hey, Peter, I'm living the dream. What are you doing?
Just trying to figure stuff out.
I love it. What's going on? What can we figure out?
Well, I just got out of high school about a month ago.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you. And I have no idea, like, what I want to do to college, what I want to do in college. It's getting to the point where I feel rushed to, like, apply for college just to get something done.
Yeah. Where's that coming from? Mom and dad?
Well, to be honest, my dad doesn't believe that college. He doesn't think I should go to college. He says
Why?
He just feels like I should. My dad never went to college. He's self-employed. He's just been a self-dependent person. He doesn't believe college is like the best thing. He doesn't like student debt. He doesn't like any of that.
Well, let me just tell you, I agree with Dad. Now, let me just say this. I believe that college is a good thing for certain people. I believe it is a waste of time and money for others. So I'm not bashing higher education. I have a very simple two-part, it's two questions that will clarify for you, for your parents, or anybody on college. Is it the only way for you to get qualified to do the thing you want to do? Or is it the best way? If the answer is no, it's not the only way. If the answer is no, it's not the best way, then I say don't go to college.
Then how do I figure out what
now,
I
get
want to do?
I'm going to help you on that.
I want my career to.
I'm going to help you on that okay? But I wanted you to understand that part first, okay? Because here's the deal. You're 19. It's easier for some 19-year-olds than others to know enough about themselves to be able to be really clear, even with my construct, okay? So if you listened to my show before, I'm assuming you have if you're calling me, or is this just you wandered on to YouTube?
I just found you about a week ago from Dave's show.
Okay, great. So let me give you a quick framework of what we're going to try to do today. And if we don't get 100% clear, the good news is you'll have homework and you can do this. So what we do to answer the question that you're calling to ask, I'm trying to get clear on what I'm supposed to do with my life, Ken. So here's what we do. First, we look at, Peter, what you do best. That's talent. Everybody's born with talent. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
The way I would define it for you is talent are things that always have come easy for you. You may have seen another kid struggle with this subject in school or a task, and you go, that comes easy for me. Another clue on talent is people have always complimented you on this particular skill, either a people skill, which we call soft skills, or some type of a task-oriented skill, okay? Whether it be technical in nature or physical in nature or mental in nature. Are you still tracking with me?
Yes.
All right, so you understand talent. The next piece of the puzzle is, what work do you love to do? A task, a function, or a role maybe that you would play in a professional environment. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
So you got to love the work. And then the last piece of the puzzle is mission, results that matter deeply to you. All work creates a result. Would you agree with that statement?
Yes, I do.
Okay. It is possible to love your work but not be fired up about the result. Let me give you an example from my life. When I started out into broadcasting, I went into sports radio. I love sports. I love talking about sports. But when I got into it, the result of being in sports talk radio was entertainment. Do you understand that?
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that. But that's not the result that I get the most juice over. I get juice equipping and encouraging people. See the difference?
Yes, I do.
So now I'm on the radio equipping and encouraging people, and every once in a while I entertain people when maybe I say something the wrong way or I have my ADD squirrel moments, right? There's a little bit, and I make fun of myself a good bit. But it is not about the driving result that I'm after. It's not about entertainment. It's about in equipping people and encouraging them. Do you understand?
Yeah.
All right, so that's talent, passion, mission together. So when those are the separate pieces, think of them as puzzle pieces. When I put them together, talent is first. It's what I do best. Think of talent as my premium tools. So I use what I do best, talent, to do work I love, that's passion, to produce results that matter deeply to me, that's mission. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's so simple, it's brilliant. So here's the deal.
What do I do about failure?
Hold on. Don't worry about failure. You don't even know what you want to do yet. Am I right?
I don't know what I want to do yet.
So here's the deal. What are you most talented at? Give me 2 or 3 things that you know. If I interviewed everybody in your life, they'd go, Peter's really talented at this.
Technology, stopping problems from happening, solving stuff.
Yes.
Like getting to the bottom of it.
Oh, I love that. Because you're very logical, right? You got the talent of logic. Your brain processes things. You can analyze it and you can break it down and fix it and figure it out, correct?
Yes.
So I'm going to take a wild guess that since you're really good at that, you like doing that kind of work, problem solving. Yes or no?
Yes, I do.
What problems would you love to get paid to solve? Be specific.
Like technology.
Give me an
finance.
example. Give me a technology example that I call you up. I go, Peter, I need your help, man. Can you come over here and fix this? Give me an example.
Like cybersecurity, I guess. Like stopping something bad from happening, or preventing problems from happening, or solving a problem, I guess.
I love that. If
Or
I called you, Peter, and I said, hey, I got hacked, Peter. I got hacked. I'm nervous. Come help me. And you came and you helped me, and then you fixed it, and I went, oh, jeez, Peter. Dude, you just saved me. You saved me tons of time and money, and Oh my gosh. Thank you. Peter, thank you. You bailed me out. How would you feel after I said that?
Like joy, I guess.
Yeah, you would. You know why? Because you love solving problems that help people. True or false?
True.
Now, you've been mentioning finance. I know. I've been listening to you. I'm in here ranting and raving. I'm trying to coach you up real fast. You think I didn't hear you say finance twice, but I heard you say it twice. And so I'm okay with finance being a part of this. If it's technology or finance, it doesn't matter. Here's what it has to be. I've got to be good at the work. That's talent. I got to love the work. That's that analyzing, troubleshooting, problem solving type of work. And the work has got to produce a result that is solution and service oriented. If it fits that, that's in your sweet spot. You were created to do that. There's multiple different ways you could go. You could go into finance and do cybersecurity for financial companies. You could go into finance and do coding and create websites at like a place like a Ramsey Solutions. There are lots of different things that you can do as long as you're using your talent and you love the work and the work is producing results that you look at the end of the day and go, I got joy. Now, you get that at 19, right?
Yes.
So I'd start looking at that kind of thing. Now, here's the great news about what your dad thinks and what I think. You don't have to have a 4-year degree to do that kind of technology work. You can go to betheltech.net, and when I'm going to put you on hold in 20 seconds. I want you to talk to your mom and dad about Bethel Tech. I want you to go to the website today, betheltech.net. I endorse them because they have a 9-month online program. And for Ramsey Solutions listeners, if you cash flow your way through it, it's less than $15,000. Everybody else is going to pay about that. It's less for you because they pass on their savings because they're not doing any kind of credit card, debit card, any kind of finance charges when you use a card. If you understand, not a finance charge, but there are fees when people, go through that. If you cash flow it, they pass the savings on to you. 9 months. They train you in cybersecurity, development, Ruby on Rails, all that stuff that I don't even know what any of that means. And then they place you. So I want you to at least talk to them and talk to 3 or 4 other companies that are like them, that are reputable and have a legit reputation. And look at what is it going to take for you to get qualified to do that kind of work you want to do. And you're going to find that it doesn't require a college degree. Now, let me address failure. You are going to fail, Peter, on some level. But you're not going to fail in your career unless you do something morally or something logically stupid. You're not going to do that. But you'll fail. You'll get rejected on some interviews. You'll make some mistakes in the training program. You might mess something up at work every once in a while, but that's not going to get you fired. You're going to win, Peter. Believe in yourself because you have the talent to do it. You have the passion to do it and the missional drive to do it. That's what God created you to do. So don't be worried about failing. Learn from your failures. I got news for you. I got a list of failures so long we could do a 24-hour show. Nobody would listen, but that's not the point. I have failed, but it is my failure that has propelled me forward because I chose to learn from my failure. I chose to get stronger as a result of my failure, and I stayed in the game. You cannot move forward without failure, so you might as well embrace it. You're going to fail. Ken, you should be more positive. I am positive. You are going to fail, and it's not going to kill you. You're going to be okay. All right. One way to not fail as much, though, because we don't want to just walk into failure every day. How about in the job search? Failure feels like rejection, right? Actually, rejection feels like failure. Let me flip that. When I apply for something and nobody gets back to me, I feel like a failure. When I apply for something, they get back to me, but it doesn't go anywhere. I get one interview or 2 and I don't get it. I feel like a failure. That's why the job search sucks for a lot of people. So we're partnering with ZipRecruiter.com, the #1 job site in the world. Here's why. ZipRecruiter doesn't charge you to be your recruiter. They're automatically a recruiter when you go to their website, ZipRecruiter.com, fill out a profile. They start matching your profile with all these open jobs that companies are posting on their site because they want you, the talent. The companies pay ZipRecruiter. You don't. So why wouldn't you sign up the #1 job site in the world on your behalf? Because it's free, and it's better than just being free. The free's the bonus. Their technology is what makes them work. It's why I signed to say, yeah, I will endorse that. Here's why. They start matching your profile up to companies' jobs. And when the company goes, ooh, I'm interested in you, the company contacts you directly and says, please apply. What? I mean, you're in now. Now you use the rest of my tools. The resume guide, the resume template, the interview, the follow-up resources, all free at KenColeman.com. ZipRecruiter.com and KenColeman.com. That's all you need, Joe. And ZipRecruiter's candidates 3 times as likely to get the job because the company's already pre-selected you for an interview. You're in. You're not just another resume on the database. So, ZipRecruiter.com. I don't know why you wouldn't add them to your tool belt. All right, quick break. When we come back, I'm going to break down what's going on with these 9.3 million jobs that are out there and why people aren't aggressively going after it. You need to know this so you know what the landscape looks like. This is the Ken Coleman Show.
We were drawn to Christian Healthcare Ministries because we both had young families and we wanted to have more children. And we had also just started a real estate company and needed to find healthcare coverage that would meet our needs.
We were attracted to CHM because of its low monthly costs and the ability to negotiate medical costs down.
Established in 1981 and accredited by the Better Business Bureau, CHM is here to meet the needs of your growing family or small business. Check us out at chministries.org.
We absolutely believe in it.
All right, welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show, where we help you go from paycheck to purpose. KenColeman.com, great website, done by the talented team here at Ramsey Solutions with a ton of free resources that'll help you, articles, and then we've got a store with some amazing products. I just found out again before the show that the 6 resume templates based on the free resume guide and how we flip the resume, the thing is just going nuts. It's a $10 product. It's $9.99, and people are buying it like crazy. Yeah. Might be my claim to fame. I'm going to stop calling myself a best-selling author and syndicated radio show host, and I'm going to start leading with resume template impresario.
Nice.
Look up impresario. There's your word of the day. Didn't plan to add that to the show, but I'm always trying to equip you people. Drop impresario into your regular conversation over the next week for 500 bonus points. I don't know who's going to give you the bonus points, and I don't know what the bonus points are related to, but I will give you 500 bonus points, Joe, if you work in impresario into a sentence over the next week.
It's a beauty.
By the way, if you do that, you have to tell everybody how you did it. Okay? I would ask Madison to take the challenge, but as soon as I said impresario, she rolled her eyes and put her head down and focused on producing the show. It's too much for her. She hates my 75-cent words, but this is my toxicity that I deal with every day. I kid. She's amazing. Okay, it's time for In the News. Few unemployed people are actively looking for jobs. Yeah, Ken, you've been telling us this. Yeah, I'm going to keep telling you this because now we're starting to get some data. Why? And this is where this is interesting. This is the time for workers to be really choosy and picky because there's 9.3 million jobs open. But let's look deeper into this. I've been wondering about this. So Madison with the find on this. Recent Indeed survey said that only 10% of job seekers say they're actively, urgently looking for work. There's no urgency for 2 reasons. Number 1, unemployment benefits still out there. And number 2, as I've been saying on this program, these are lower wage jobs. And now we have the proof. Of the 9.3 million, I don't know what the number is, but there's a huge part of these jobs are lower wage and hourly, and they're in the restaurant, bar, let's call it entertainment, leisure, tourism, all that stuff. So these jobs are coming back big time, but they're not considered good jobs. So you got people who are going, why would I go to this job that maybe I did in the past and it's all I'm qualified for when I'm getting the unemployment benefits? So let's break this down a little deeper. Workers without college degrees, excuse me, folks, I have no idea what's going on. It's like there's pollen in the studio, or it's Joe's new cologne.
Negative.
The Stetson 2.0 may need to be outlawed, Joe. Whew. Workers without college degrees cite several different reasons for delaying job search. 25% of them are afraid of COVID-19 still and are waiting for vaccination rates to climb. So there's still some fear out here around COVID. More than 20% say they have a financial cushion. So they've been saving money. Maybe these unemployment benefits. Maybe good for them. Maybe they've been stacking them. And then 12% say their unemployment insurance is still, again, more than they would make if they went back to work. So there's no rush. And then lastly, 20% are also saying that childcare is a big issue. And I have touched on all of this. I mean, the budgets are having to change. They had the kids at home forever. Now, if I go back to work, I've got the added expenses, and it's a psychological thing. But here's the deal. If you're one of those people, at some point, these unemployment benefits are going to go away, and employers are going to adjust. So don't assume that this is going to stay white hot for you, as in companies clamoring for talent. At some point, it's going to cycle out. You don't want to get caught watching the paint dry is basically the takeaway there. 844-747-2577. Hey, quick reminder to follow me on Instagram at Ken Coleman. We got some great stuff going over there. On Facebook, search The Ken Coleman Show. Very engaging. A lot of great resources there and great content and a lot of fun. All right. Hey, my time is almost up. But before I let you go, I want to remind you that you matter and you do have what it takes. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, this is The Ken Coleman Show. Press on.